Many people quietly ask a question they're afraid to say out loud. Does Allah love me? We ask it when life becomes heavy, when du'as feel unanswered, when our hearts feel tired, when we fall again, and wonder if Allah is disappointed with us. We often think Allah's love looks like ease, success, comfort, and happiness. But that is not how divine love works. Because if Allah's love was proven by a perfect life, then the prophets, those most beloved to Allah, would never have suffered. Yet their lives were filled with trials, tears, and patience. So today let us reframe the question, not, is my life easy? But, are there signs that Allah is drawing me closer to Him? Because when Allah loves you, He does not always change your circumstances, He changes your heart. One of the greatest and most misunderstood signs that Allah loves you is this: you never feel comfortable being far from Him. You may slip, you may sin, you may fall short again and again. But no matter how far you drift, something inside you never settles. Your heart does not find peace in distance. Instead, it aches. It feels restless. It feels heavy. That inner discomfort is not weakness. It is life in the heart. When a person sins and feels nothing, no guilt, no regret, no urge to return, that is far more dangerous than falling into sin itself. A numb heart is a heart that is no longer responding, but a heart that aches still belongs to Allah. Think about it. That guilt you feel after disobedience, that quiet shame that appears when you remember Allah after forgetting Him, that restlessness when you delay Salah, even though you tell yourself you are too busy, that heaviness when days pass without opening the Qur'an. That is not rejection, that is mercy. Allah is gently calling you back, not with punishment, but with feeling. The Prophet taught us that when Allah wants good for a servant, He opens their heart to repentance. Repentance does not begin with perfection, it begins with awareness. It begins when the heart refuses to settle in disobedience. Real life reflects this truth beautifully. How many people say, I don't know why, but I couldn't sleep until I prayed. Or, I tried to ignore it, but something kept pulling me back to Salah. Or, I kept delaying my repentance, but my heart felt so heavy until I finally made dua. That pull is not guilt alone. That pull is love. Psychology tells us that guilt is a sign of moral alignment. It appears when a person still cares about their values. Spiritually, that means the fitra is still alive. Allah is protecting that heart from becoming hard. Sometimes Allah allows you to feel discomfort, so you do not feel lost. Sometimes He allows the ache, so you remember where home is. If Allah had abandoned you, He would have let you sin in peace. He would have allowed you to forget Him without consequence. But instead, He places a gentle unrest in your chest that whispers, come back. And every time you return, no matter how many times you fall, Allah receives you with mercy, not exhaustion, not disappointment. Allah does not get tired of forgiving. We get tired of asking. So if you are someone who keeps returning, even after failure, if your heart refuses to feel comfortable without Allah, if distance hurts more than discipline, take comfort. That ache is a sign that Allah is still holding your heart. And as long as your heart is being pulled back, you are not lost. You are loved. When Allah loves you, He does not leave you untouched by trials. This is difficult to accept, because we naturally associate love with ease. We think if Allah is pleased with us, life should be smooth, doors should open easily, and pain should stay away. But divine love does not work that way. Tests are not signs of Allah's anger. They are signs of attention. Think about gold. Gold is not purified by compliments or comfort. It is purified by fire. The fire does not destroy it. It removes what does not belong. What remains is stronger, purer, and more valuable. Allah tests His servants in the same way. Sometimes He tests to remove arrogance, so we remember our need for Him. Sometimes He tests to soften the heart, so we feel compassion for others. Sometimes He tests to detach us from dunya, so it does not control us. Sometimes He tests to elevate our rank, because ease alone cannot take us there. The Prophet taught us a powerful truth: the most tested people are the prophets, then those closest to them in faith. The ones Allah loves most were not spared hardship. They were refined through it. Look at real life. Two people face the same hardship. One becomes bitter, angry, distant from Allah. The other falls into sujood, making dua they never made before. The difference is not the pain, it is the direction the pain takes them. Many people say, "I never prayed like this until I was broken," or "I never felt Allah so close until I had nothing else to hold on to," or "That hardship changed me, it brought me back." Psychology supports this spiritual truth. Studies on post-traumatic growth show that many people experience deeper meaning, stronger values, and greater spiritual awareness after hardship. Islam taught this centuries ago. Pain can refine the soul if it is met with patience and trust. If a trial pulls you closer to Allah, if it increases your dua instead of silencing it, if it humbles you instead of hardening you, then that trial is not punishment, it is purification. Allah is not breaking you, He is reshaping you. He is removing what would have damaged you long term. He is teaching you reliance instead of control. He is preparing you for a level you could not reach through ease alone. So do not measure Allah's love by the absence of hardship. Measure it by what hardship does to your heart. If your pain brings you closer to Allah instead of away from Him, if it pushes you to sujood instead of despair, if it strengthens your faith instead of destroying it, then take comfort. This is not abandonment. This is divine care. And the fire you are in is not meant to consume you. It is meant to purify you. Another powerful and often overlooked sign of Allah's love is this: He makes obedience easier for you, even when life is hard. There are days when your body is exhausted, your mind is overwhelmed, your heart feels heavy, and yet you still pray. You still whisper a dua, even when disappointment sits in your chest. You still turn to Allah, even when your faith feels fragile. You still try, even when your heart feels weak. That is not your strength, that is tawfiq, divine enablement. Many people assume worship happens because of willpower alone. But the truth is, countless people have time, health, and opportunity, yet no desire to pray. Others feel the desire, but lack consistency. Their intentions are sincere, but the door never seems to stay open. When Allah loves you, He gives you both, the desire to worship and the ability to sustain it. This is why obedience itself is a gift. It is not something we deserve. It is something Allah allows. Real life reflects this clearly. How many people say, "I don't know how I managed to pray during that phase of my life, but Allah carried me." How many say, "I was broken, but Salah became my only place of relief." How many say, "When nothing else made sense, dua still felt natural." That is not coincidence. That is divine care. Modern psychology supports what faith has always taught. Studies show that people who engage in regular prayer or spiritual routines have higher emotional resilience, lower anxiety levels, and a greater sense of meaning during hardship. Islam offered this stability long before research confirmed it. Salah grounds you. Dua releases what the heart cannot carry alone. Qur'an reorients the soul when life feels chaotic. Obedience is not a burden, it is a lifeline. Yet Shaitan works hard to convince people that worship is heavy, restrictive, or exhausting. But Allah tells us otherwise. When Allah opens the door of remembrance for you, He is inviting you into protection, not punishment. If Allah had abandoned you, you would not feel the pull to pray. You would not miss the Qur'an. You would not feel discomfort in neglect. So if you are someone who still turns to Allah, even imperfectly, even inconsistently, even quietly, take comfort. The fact that you still pray when tired, still make dua when hurt, still seek Allah when confused, means Allah is holding your heart. Obedience is not proof of how strong you are. It is proof of how gentle Allah has been with you. And as long as the door of Salah, Qur'an, and remembrance remains open in your life, know this: Allah has not abandoned you. He is guiding you, step by step, back to Him. When Allah loves you, He does not only surround you with comfort, He surrounds you with reminders. Because comfort can make us forget, but reminders bring us back. A verse suddenly touches your heart at the exact moment you need it. A lecture feels as though it was spoken directly to you. A simple conversation awakens something inside you that had been asleep for years. These moments are not random. They are not coincidence. They are divine communication. Allah tells us in the Qur'an that reminders benefit those who are willing to listen. When the heart is open, even slightly, Allah sends signs from directions we never expect. Sometimes the reminder comes gently. Sometimes it comes uncomfortably. Sometimes it is advice you did not want to hear, spoken by someone you least expected. And although it stings at first, it lingers because it is true. Sometimes the reminder comes as loss. A relationship ends, a door closes, a plan falls apart. And only later do you realize that what you lost was never meant to take you forward. It was meant to redirect you. Sometimes the reminder comes as silence. No answers, no clarity, just space. And in that quiet, you are finally forced to listen to your heart, to your intentions, to Allah. Real life reflects this beautifully. So many people say, "I was scrolling without thinking, and suddenly that message changed me." Or, I clicked a video by accident, and it answered a question I hadn't spoken out loud. Or, I overheard a conversation that felt like a warning meant just for me. That is Allah reaching out. Psychology tells us that meaningful change often begins with a moment of interruption, when routine is disrupted and reflection begins. Islam goes deeper. It teaches that Allah interrupts us out of mercy before we drift too far. If Allah did not care, He would let you continue without reminders. He would let distraction consume you. He would let the heart grow numb. But when Allah loves you, He taps your heart again and again until you turn back. Reminders are not meant to shame you. They are meant to save you. Sometimes they come through people, sometimes through hardship, sometimes through words that echo in your mind long after you hear them. The fact that a reminder touches you, that it stays with you, that it makes you pause, is proof that your heart is still alive. So the next time something strikes your heart unexpectedly, do not brush it off. Do not say, "It was nothing. It was something." It was Allah saying, "I see you. I have not forgotten you. Come back." And every reminder you respond to, no matter how small, brings you closer. Because Allah's love is not always loud. Sometimes it is a quiet message that arrives exactly when you need it. And that, too, is mercy. One of the clearest, most beautiful signs that Allah loves you is this: your character matters to you. Not just how you appear, not just how you are perceived, but who you are when no one is watching. You begin to care about sincerity. You pause and check your intention before actions that once felt automatic. You care about honesty, not just in words, but in choices. You care about pleasing Allah, even when it costs you comfort, approval, or ease. This is a profound shift. At some point, success stops being about image and starts being about integrity. You realize that applause fades, but accountability remains. And the heart no longer finds satisfaction in pretending. It wants truth. When Allah loves you, He gives you a sensitive conscience. You feel discomfort with hypocrisy. Saying one thing and doing another no longer sits well with you. You begin to notice the gap between who you are and who you want to be. And instead of ignoring it, you want to close it. You want inner change, not just outer appearance. You are no longer content with looking righteous while feeling distant. You want alignment between belief and action, between worship and character. You measure success by faith, not applause. The approval of people loses its grip on your heart. What matters more is whether Allah is pleased, even if no one notices your effort. This kind of awareness does not come from self-improvement books or social pressure. It comes from divine care. Real life reflects this clearly. Many people reach a point where they say, "I don't feel right doing this anymore." Not because it is illegal or unpopular, but because it no longer aligns with who they are becoming. That discomfort is growth. Psychology confirms that people who live according to internal values, rather than external validation, experience greater peace, self-respect, and emotional stability. Islam taught this centuries ago. The strongest heart is one rooted in sincerity. At the end of life, Allah will not ask how impressive you look to people. He will not ask how curated your image was. He will ask who you became. Did your choices soften your heart or harden it? Did your success make you humble or arrogant? Did your journey bring you closer to Allah or further away? If your heart is being shaped, softened after hardship, refined through repentance, humbled through reflection, that is not coincidence. That is love. Allah does not rush your transformation. He works on you gently, layer by layer, teaching you through experiences, mistakes, and moments of awakening. So if you find yourself caring deeply about your character, if you are uncomfortable with insincerity, if you long to be better for Allah, not for people, take comfort. Allah is not finished with you. He is shaping you. And being shaped by Allah, even when it feels uncomfortable, is one of the greatest signs that you are deeply, beautifully loved. Allah's love is not loud. It is transformative. Allah's love does not always come with ease. It comes with growth, with return, with awakening. If you feel pulled back after mistakes, if trials bring you closer, not bitter, if worship still calls you, if reminders reach you, if your character matters to you, then take comfort. These are not random signs. These are signs of divine care. Allah's love is not about perfection. It is about direction. And if you are moving toward Him, even slowly, even imperfectly, you are deeply, deeply loved.